All right, let's talk about something that sounds, well, completely backwards. The idea that to recover from a tough run, you should go for another run. I know, it seems totally counterintuitive, but stick with me on this one because the science and the results are genuinely surprising.
Now, I bet you're looking at this slide and nodding along, thinking, exactly, that makes zero sense. And you're not alone. For the longest time, I was right there with you. I thought the only way to recover from feeling tired was complete rest. The idea of piling more running on top of that just seemed like a recipe for total exhaustion, not recovery.
So let's start by digging into that skepticism, because honestly, it's a completely logical reaction. It's the common sense doubt pretty much everyone has when they first hear about something called a recovery jog. The standard logic is super simple, right? You work out, your muscles get sore, you feel tired, so you stop moving to let your body heal. That's what recovery is. Our source's author felt the exact same way, but after hearing about this concept over and over, they basically decided to try it, almost like a what the heck, I'll see what happens kind of experiment.
And it turns out that little experiment opened up a whole new way of thinking. So let's get into the truth about what recovery jogs really are. Because to get the benefit, you have to be crystal clear on what it is, and just as importantly, what it isn't.
This is the absolute key right here. A recovery jog has a totally different goal than a normal training run. You are not trying to get faster. You are not trying to build endurance. The one and only purpose of this activity is to help your body recover from fatigue more effectively. That's it. This table really breaks it down perfectly. Look at the difference. It's night and day. The purpose flips from building fitness to aiding recovery. The pace just plummets from moderate or fast all the way down to extremely slow. And because of that, the feeling transforms from something challenging to something that's genuinely easy and even refreshing. They're basically two completely different sports.
And that brings us to the golden rule. Seriously, if you remember only one thing about recovery jogs, let it be this. You literally cannot go too slow, but you can absolutely go too fast. The second your pace starts to creep up, you've crossed the line from recovery back into training, and the entire benefit just vanishes.
So what does extremely slow actually feel like in practice? Well, if you're tracking heart rate, you're aiming for something around 110 beats per minute. For most of us, that's what's known as zone 1, a really, really low intensity effort. To put a pace on it, we're talking about 6 minutes and 30 seconds per kilometer at the absolute fastest. And let me be clear, going slower, even a lot slower, is not only okay, it's actually encouraged. It should feel almost ridiculously easy. Okay, so we know what it is and how to do it, but why does it actually work? How on earth does moving your body help get rid of fatigue? Let's take a look at the simple science behind this whole paradox. It's actually a beautifully simple three-step process. First, that slow, gentle movement gets your circulatory system going, which increases blood flow to your tired muscles. That increased blood flow then acts like a cleanup crew, actively flushing out all that metabolic junk, like lactic acid, that makes you feel sore. It just washes it away.
And you know what the best part is? It doesn't take all day to get this benefit. The sweet spot is just 20 to 40 minutes. That's all you need to boost circulation and kickstart that recovery process, without adding any more stress or fatigue to your body.
So that's the theory. But what does it actually feel like when you do it? Let's check out the personal results from our source's author, who went from being a total skeptic to a true believer.
The verdict came back and it was immediate. It felt surprisingly good. In fact, the author found that a slow little jog felt way more productive than just sitting on the couch, which, let's be honest, can sometimes leave you feeling even more stiff and sluggish. And the benefits weren't just physical, they were mental, too. It worked like a mental reset, clearing away that brain fog. Just breaking a light sweat felt genuinely refreshing. And the big one, it didn't add any extra fatigue. Instead, it broke up the monotony of a tough training schedule and actually boosted motivation for the next day's real workout. And all of this led to the ultimate aha moment, the one big realization that made the whole concept finally click. A recovery jog isn't an alternative to resting, it is a form of resting. You are literally running for the sake of resting more effectively. So, we've covered the skepticism, the definition, the science, and the surprising results. The final question, then, is about you. How could you maybe apply this to your own routine? If this whole idea is new to you, the invitation is pretty simple. The next time you're feeling sore and tired after a hard workout, just give it a shot.
And remember that golden rule. Go unbelievably slow. So slow that it feels a little bit silly. That's how you know you're doing it right.
And this leaves us with one last, kind of provocative question to think about. We're all taught that recovery means complete stillness. But what if that's not the whole story? Could sitting on the couch doing nothing actually be a wasted opportunity? A chance to recover faster, feel better, and get ready for your next big challenge that we're just letting slip away? Maybe, just maybe, the best way to rest is to move. Thanks for joining me.